What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 9 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We're going back to Series 9 after playing a bunch of Series 10, trying to do some fun ladder stuff, and I wanted to try and do like a good amount of content of both for the end of the month. I know I made some ideas for at least 4 teams, actually 5, that I really do want to try out before the end of the month. Some of them are more serious. One of them is, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's going to be a fun little challenge, so excited for that. But today we're using a really cool team. This is built by KantoClark, who is a fellow content creator who has appeared on the channel before, and I'm actually really excited to use this team because of the fact that there should be one interesting Pokemon for a lot of people, and that is Milktank. So Milktank is really cool because of the fact that it has Sap Sipper, and you have a really good way to trigger that with Comfey with Giga Drain. So one thing that I actually didn't know about Sap Sipper is that I had the really cool idea of using a Sap Sipper Pokemon with Chinchino and the idea of Bullet Seeding 5 times, but after that first Bullet Seed, it will stop, which is a little unfortunate. But yeah, Milktank is our main offensive threat with a lot of good coverage with Body Slam, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Play Rough. So it does hit a lot of things for really good coverage. We do have a more defensive Celesteela with options of things like Flash Cannon, Leech Seed, and Air Slash, so that can really help for longevity. Landorus as another sort of potent threat with the option of setting up with Sword Stance, or not with Sword Stance, with things like Big Max moves, as well as using the Lumberry to help deal with a lot of Will-O-Whispers in the format. Comfey provides great longevity as well as Taunt to help deal with Trick Room users, as this team isn't really the best equipped for that. We also do have Rotom with Absorb Bulb, which I think is really cool. It's not something you see every day, and I think it really is in a good position to use that, especially given the fact that it does have Dark Pulse as well to get off those big max darknesses to trigger drops in special defense and pick up some big KOs. Finally, we do have Dragapult, and this is our weakness policy Dragapult, which can also be triggered with Comfey. You do have Surf on it to help trigger Rotom's Absorb Bulb, and you finally just have pretty standard coverage for Dragapult with Phantom Force, Breaking Swipe, and Acrobatics. So a lot of really good options on how to set up big Pokemon and then sort of kind of put on a lot of pressure from there. So the rental code is included, and yeah, with that, let's just kind of hop right into the first game. All right, battle number 1, technically battle number 2. I accidentally forgot to record the first battle, which is a shame because it was actually a really good one. So looking at this, we do see Incineroar with Regieleki, a Braviary, Indeedee, Grimmsnarl, and Landorus. So I really like Rotom. Rotom Dragapult, I think, is a really good lead with the ability just to go for Surf without having to worry about something like a Fake Out. Rotom does do really well into their team. It does have to worry about Regieleki a little bit, but the double Intimidate, not having to worry about that too much, is also really nice. I think Landorus is a good option to have, just because we can also fire back some Intimidates. And now Comfey is nice. Probably Comfey. The fear is going to be redirection as well as the terrain, but I think this is fine, right? We still have a way of doing good damage and setting up. More importantly, Comfey can still heal because it will have higher priority than the redirection. So we don't necessarily have to worry about, going for a floral healing and triggering the Indeedee to get its health back. But I think overall leading this way makes the most sense because of the fact that the big fear, I guess, no, because I was gonna say if they just go for like Scary Face onto Rotom, but Rotom's already so slow, so it doesn't really matter. We are gonna see a Lecky Braviary. I don't know what Braviary does. I don't know what Braviary does, and I don't have... Does it have Defiant? God, this is... I don't actually know if I've... Actually... I just need to know if this thing has Defiant. Survey says it does. Okay, so I'm assuming it's going to be Defiant. I'm going to then go for a max lightning as well as a Surf, because Lando will trigger the Defiant boost, so I don't want to do that. We are going to see probably the Braviary max. It could be... Okay, yeah. We are going to see Braviary. I literally don't know what this thing can do. I literally have Google open right now. Braviary, what is its speed? It is really... it does have a lot of attack. It isn't necessarily the fastest thing, but it should probably still outspeed us. It doesn't have a grass move, which is good. I do expect something like maybe an Airstream? Maybe a Darkness? Probably a Darkness, right? I expect them to think that Dragapult is the main threat. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to see Volt Switch a little bit more than I would have liked, especially given the fact that we don't have a recovery item on Rotom, but we do have Comfey, so it's like not necessarily going to be the worst thing in the world. And we know what Braviary should not like. What is Braviary's special defense? Braviary has really low special defense, so I'm hoping that at +1 we can pick up the knockout. So the ideal situation here is going to be what they knock out. I want them to knock out Dragapult, as we are going to actually get a really big Surf off onto their Landorus, which is always really nice. We do a pretty sizable chunk, which is going to trigger the Absorb Bulb, and hopefully, like, we do need to live this Braviary hit, as we are going to see an Airstream into Dragapult. Dragapult, unfortunately, is going to go down, but I'm hoping that the Lightning will be enough, right? The Lightning should, I think, given the fact that it is +1, be able to pick up a knockout onto Braviary, in which case we can, from there, we do have our Landorus for their Rotom, and we know that they don't have, I mean, not for their Rotom, for their Alecki. I don't know how much that crit mattered. I would like to say it didn't, but you can never be too sure. We do have the ability for Landorus to, I mean, yeah, we can either bring out our Landorus or we can bring out Comfey. I like Comfey a little bit more. I think having access to healing for Rotom is going to be important, just given the fact that it is really, really slow. And so, like, just recovery is nice. We are going to see whatever they bring out is slower than Comfey. No, it's not just how things work. Did you bring out Regieleki? I think that does make a lot of sense, as we can go for a big Geyser onto Landorus, as well as go for a Floral Healing onto Rotom. We do have, like I said, we do have our Landorus in the back, which will beat a Regieleki one-on-one, and we can start trying to just provide a lot of longevity into this Rotom. We saw how little their Volt Switch did, which suggests to me that, hey, we have the option of using Floral Healing as constant health, and then, like I said, Landorus, once that's taken care of on their end, we just need to basically get Regieleki into this endgame. I don't think we need to worry about it really at all. And so the question is, like, what is my opponent going to do from this spot? As we do get a Floral Healing, which should put Rotom probably to, no, not to full, but like does recover a significant amount, as an Electro Ball is going to be boosted, as they are going to Rock Slide. We do live, which is important, because now we can pick up a Max Geyser KO onto their Landorus. And now this is a little bit of an awkward spot, right? Because they will be able to KO us with Regieleki with one more Electro Ball, just due to the fact that we did set up Electric Terrain for them. So the question is, what do they have in the back, right? If it's Incin, we're in a really good spot, because we can start, and it is, okay, so it is Incin, and what I'm thinking at this point is we protect, do we even need to protect Rotom? I'm going to switch out into Landorus and just go for a Draining Kiss onto their Alecki, just with the idea that, hey, if you have a Sash, I do want to break it. And I think, yeah, because now we can cycle Intimidates onto their Incineroar and keep Landorus healthy, because Landorus should beat a Incineroar in an endgame, right? Because especially because we do have switches available, so we do have that ability. I think we actually, it might have been better to switch out Comfy. We do see the fake out come out. Oh, because of what is it called? They have higher priority speed, so we can go for a really safe Earthquake, as well as a swap out from the Comfy into Rotom. Because then we do have, what is it called? We do have Levitate. One thing that does make this really tricky is if Regieleki has Hyper Beam, which we're going to see that it doesn't. So we are going to be able to have Landorus get off at least one Earthquake, which is, yep, it is going to be faster than Incineroar, and this is going to do significant chunk to Incineroar, where we do now have priority Comfy to go for any sort of recovery, as they probably are going to Parting Shot. They could Parting Shot, but I don't think it matters, just due to the fact that Comfy still is in the back, as we do see the Figgy come out. It is going to be a Flare Blitz at -1 in the rain. Landorus is going to take that like a champ, and yeah, we can bring out Comfy and just wrap things up with a Floral Healing, or not even a Floral Healing. We can go for a Draining Kiss just to try and recover a little bit, as well as an Earthquake from Landorus. So yeah, really, really happy with how the first game went. I think utilizing Rotom in this position is something that a lot of people don't expect, right? When you see Rotom, it's typically carrying a Citrus Berry. And the fact that we have something so different with that Absorb Bulb really helps, because everyone's like, okay, how is this going to go? And that gives you this huge sort of element of surprise in that first turn. And it becomes so crucial because people want to target down the Dragapult, and then Aleki can set up, and then at +1 it is picking up a lot of really crucial KOs, and I think that really sort of helped us out. But yeah, good first game and nothing to say, but let's keep rocking and rolling and move to game number 2. All right, game number 2. This is a little interesting, right? We're seeing a Rillaboom Stakataka with Amoonguss, Comfy, a Dragapult on their side, as well as a, what is it called? Galarian Zapdos. Yeah, there's not really an ideal lead. We could lead Dragapult with Comfy, right? Because now what we can do is we do have the option of going for things like Taunt. We can set up the weakness. We can trigger the weakness policy, and we do have Max Geyser for Stakataka. So this is actually not a terrible lead. I do like Celesteela a lot. I think it does provide a really good answer into Rillaboom, as well as things like Amoonguss. And Milktank is actually a really good option because of Sap Sipper. Rotom is scared of a lot of... Rotom is a good option, but I think it's fine not to bring it. And then Landorus I would love to have, but given a Defiant user as well as Clear Body on... what is it called? On Dragapult, I don't think it really is going to be super necessary. And I would honestly much rather have Milktank with the ability to kind of look at Amoonguss and laugh. But I think this is a situation where we really do want to try and max, what is it called? We do want to try and max Dragapult. And maybe, let's see what they have. We are going to see Stack as well as Amoonguss. So it makes sense, right? You're trying to go for a Rage Powder as well as go for Trick Room. What is Dragapult's special attack? Dragapult's special attack is 108. Stakataka has horrible special defense. We're going to try something really cheeky. We're going to Draining Kiss into Dragapult to trigger the weakness policy and then go for Surf. Right? With the idea that I'm hoping at +2 this will be enough to knock out Stakataka. Because what? Stack probably doesn't have a Focus Sash, right? It's most likely going to be like Chople Choppel, maybe Life Orb. So this is a really... Oh no. Okay, so they're maxing stack. We have Milktank in the back. We brought Milktank, and what was the other thing we brought? We brought... we didn't bring Lando. We brought Celesteela. Oh god. So this is weird. Oh, okay. That was actually way more damage than I would have liked. We don't have a good answer to Stack Attacka anymore. Especially because of... Oh god, that damage was pitiful. We are going to see the Steel Spike come out into Dragapult. Dragapult's going to go down, and most likely a Spore into... yeah, because... Oh god, Stack's at +2 defense. I should have brought Lando. We are going to see a Spore, come out onto Comfy. So this is a little bit of an awkward spot, right? I was really banking on good damage that I did not get. We do have Fire Punch. Yeah. Milktank, maybe? I think we have to bring up Milktank. This way, we don't have to worry about Spore. We can start going for Fire Punch. I think my desire to be a little bit cheeky kind of really bit me in the butt. Yeah, we at this point, I can't beat Stack Attacka. Stack Attacka, I think, will just wall me. What's nice is we don't have to worry about no, we want to Fire Punch into Stack, and then actually our best bet is to not max and go for a Taunt into Amoonguss, right? Because I need to burn Stack. I can't, but okay, so they're still not going for a Rage Powder. I need to get a burn, which I don't get, and I was gonna say like that is pretty much going to be my only chance of winning at this point is getting a burn off into Stack Attacka with a Fire Punch. And the fact that they didn't attack, so maybe they went for Spore onto Milktank. But the thing is, like, even if I get the burn off at this point, it's not going to matter because of the fact that Stack Attacka can go for Body Press. Right? Okay, so we do see the Spore, which is fine. Milktank is going to get an attack boost, which we really appreciate, and like I said, I need to burn Stack, and even then, like, that's not going to do anything. So we do that, and because Celesteela is just going to get... Yeah, this is what we have to do, right? We have to try and burn Stack Attacka. And the fact is, like, I really wasted turn 1 by trying to be really cheeky. And also the fact that I didn't bring Landorus. I didn't bring Landorus and Rotom because I ended up being so afraid of things that weren't there, right? If I had either, I should have just brought Landorus, honestly. Like, the idea of the Defiant from Zapdos was really scary, but at the same time, like, we have a really good matchup into Zapdos because of the fact that we have Comfy. We are going to see Protect from the Amoonguss, so this is actually really great for us because we do have a chance to get another burn. I mean, by another burn, we don't get the burn, unfortunately, nor do we hit the Leech Seed, which honestly was going to be our best bet in terms of trying to beat this Stack Attacka. And I honestly think at this point, like, there's really nothing we can do, right? This stack has so much defense against us where it can easily just body press. We can go for a Fire Punch here, as well as an Airstream into the Amoonguss. And the idea is, like, what? If we can burn it, we can stall for 2 turns. Enough turn, like we'd need what, 5? We need like 8 protects in a row at this point for any sort of hope. So yeah, that is the game plan. We are going to, okay, they're gonna switch out Amoonguss and they're gonna bring out Comfy. So like my burn plan doesn't even work anymore because of the fact that they now have access to healing. But I like I said, I think the way around this is we need to burn with Milktank. We need to get the burn off. We need to have Stack Attack a body press into the Milktank slot to knock out Milktank, so we can start going for Steel Spikes onto what is it called? Onto Comfy. We are living at 1, and we don't unfortunately get the burn, which when it comes down to it was going to be our win con. So now what? We need a hit into Milktank. We need body press to go into Milktank, but it's, or you Trick Room. That also works. So we still try and go for that, as well as now we Steel Spike into Comfy. And I mean, I'm really just kind of wasting time at this point. There's no I would need Steela to solo this endgame, which I don't think is absurd. But I mean, Stack has so many boosts, and the fact that we didn't get any burns onto it, I think kind of seals it. Because if we had gotten a burn like turn 1, we might have been able to pull it off. And I think, yeah, my opponent really took advantage of the fact that I was worried about things that weren't there, right? I was like, okay, they're going to Rage Powder. They didn't end up Rage Powdering, so I went for Surf as opposed to doing something like a Max. Or, yeah, we're going to see the healing come out into Stack. Maybe they could have misclicked and hit Milktank, but they didn't do that. So Stack's going to go back to full. And we're going to see, yep, a body press. Body press, okay, so body press into Milktank, which, oh, that's going to give you another defense boost, which is going to cancel out mine. We know that they have a Amoonguss, which can set up a Spore. So I think, yeah, given the fact that they do have access to Spore, I do want to say it's over unless, yeah, we're getting a special defense boost at this point. I guess, yeah, playing it better, bringing Landorus Comfy, I think would have been the ideal lead. Right, because then Landorus Comfy would have accounted for pretty much all of the options my opponent had, right? Because if they had brought Zapdos, we still would have been in a good position versus Zapdos, because now they can just really easily go for... Yeah, I mean, my option is to try and stall for 3 turns of Trick Room. I think I have to take advantage of my health while I have it maxed. I don't think I can... there's no way I can live... What is it called? I don't think I can live 2 body presses. So I would need... Let's see how much it does. It probably might even... Oh, Right, we have 1 turn of max. Do we have 1 turn of max left, or is our max over? This isn't totally hopeless. Because we should be able to live 1 more. And so I'm guessing Amoonguss cannot actually damage us. So what we can try to do is Leech Seed Stack Attacka. Because now they don't have Comfy, and then what? We protect stall for like 30 turns in a row. It's not the prettiest, but it's technically not non-zero. There is a chance that we can protect for the next 30 turns or 15 turns or whatever after we Leech Seed. So we need to wake up this turn, which we don't. Yeah, there's no guarantee at the... I mean, there's 0% chance because they just go for another body press. So this was I think a really good job by my opponent, right? I was so afraid of all these things, and honestly, like I don't have a good answer to Stack Attack in general, especially with Rillaboom, right? And it just there was no way that they could have stopped all of my stack answers. Where if I brought Rotom, like let's look, right? They had Rillaboom, which stops Rotom, but it doesn't deal with what is it called? It doesn't deal with Landorus. And similarly, if they had brought Amoonguss, Amoonguss had Rage Powder, and I'm shocked it didn't go for it. And similarly, if they had brought, what is it called? Oh, they have Infiltrator. Interesting. If they had brought Zapdos, they didn't have a good answer for Rotom. So honestly, the really good lead, the best lead I could have gone with would have been Rotom with Landorus, because then I have guaranteed ways of dealing with this, right? Where I can either hit into Amoonguss with an Airstream as well as go for a Hydro Pump onto stack, or have the flexibility of switching things up. And yeah, that really would have been the best option. And I think I was so excited about doing something cheeky, and I guess I didn't even really consider stack as a lead, and that really ended up biting me. But really good job to my opponent. I think they played very well, and let's keep these lessons in mind as we move to the next game. All right, last game of the day, and it is a Suncore. So it is Charizard, Venusaur, Torkoal, Porygon, what is it called? A Rillaboom, as well as Regirock. So I really like Rotom. The question though is, where do I put Rotom? Landorus is also really good. I do want Landorus. I think Comfey is tempting too because of Taunt. So what we can do is Milktank Landorus, right? Because Milktank, I actually want Milktank in the back. Let's do Landorus Comfey with Milktank and Rotom. My idea with this, right, is Landorus deals with Charizard. It also has Lumberry for a lot of stuff. I really like Landorus in this spot. I want Rotom second. And then let's bring Comfey with Miltank. Dragapult doesn't really do enough for me. And then Celesteela, I think, is too weak of an option. So what I'm really hoping is... yeah, let's see. I think it'll really depend. This is a really hard lead. I am going to guess that it is going to be probably Porygon with Venusaur. Because I feel like that just is such a flexible lead, as we are going to see Torkoal Charizard. Okay, so... we're putting my opponent kind of in a guessing game situation of what is going to max, right? Because if we max Rotom, we also do have Rock Slide on Landorus, which really makes me really wish Landorus was Scarfed. I want to just go for a Rockfall anyway, as well as... let's double up into the Charizard. We are going to see the Charizard switch out, which is a little bit unfortunate. Very good play, bringing out the Regirock, because now you do have a full... what? Okay, so luckily we did go for Rockfall, as opposed to something like an Airstream, which means that if Torkoal goes for a Burning Jealousy, they're not going to get the Burning Jealousy boost. And more importantly, by going for Rockfall, we are going to change the weather, which means that next turn, if we go for a Hydro Pump with Rotom, we don't have to worry about the reduced damage as a result of the sand. So we do get a little bit of chip, and I think every bit of chip matters. The only issue, though, is they are going to get a special defense boost, as we do connect with just every little bit of damage counts. The Regirock is under half, as we do see Yawn come out from Torkoal. Once again, I think that's fine, just due to the fact that we do have, what is it called? We do have a Lumberry. So that's really going to work out in our favor. We know that they have Charizard in the back, so I want to just go for another Rockfall here, as well as a Hydro Pump into the Regirock, right? Because Torkoal basically wasted, quote unquote, that turn, because Yawn isn't going to do much into us, as we are going to see the Torkoal withdraw. Hopefully Charizard to eat the Rockfall. It is going to be Rillaboom. So now we know what their entire team is. And I do expect the Regirock to... they could max guard. We are going to see a Protect come out from Regirock. I think that that's really smart, just because of the fact that you do want to create a situation where Rotom can get knocked out really easily. So we do see, yep, Protect from them, and now what we can do is we can, because you're expecting Landorus to fall asleep, right? And this is tricky because they haven't maxed either, and they are getting recovery on what is it called, on the Regirock, and so I think they were really banking because they're like, okay, Rillaboom is in, don't have to worry about something like a max Airstream, but we do have Milktank in the back. I'm gonna Airstream into Rillaboom and go for a Protect on Rotom, just because of the fact that I do need damage onto wait, didn't we just see leftovers on Regirock? So it doesn't have weakness policy? That would be really nice to know. What do we have in the back, right? We do have Comfy. We do have Comfy as well as not Celesteela. I don't think we brought Dragapult, right? Oh, we have Miltank in the back, which not right. We need Landorus really badly into this matchup because we also, I mean, both Rotom and Landorus are pretty crucial given what my opponent has left, as we should be able to get rid of Rillaboom, right? And if we get rid of Rillaboom, we just need to get rid of Regirock. And the question being, what do you target with Regirock, right? Because you don't have the option of going for a max Quake, which is nice because you can't boost your special defense looking into Rotom, as we are going to see a Rockfall come out. I'm guessing into Lando, and Lando takes that really, really well. And so we have the option now is we have just a ton of really good damage output, right? We have Rock Slide to deal with Charizard. We are at +1, so we will be able to deal with that. If they bring out Torkoal, they probably are going to bring out Torkoal. Yep, you have to bring out Torkoal in this position, right? Because of the fact that you need the Drought to reduce the amount of damage that I'm going to be able to do with with Lando. I'm tempted to go for Fly. I want to go for a Rock Slide and a Thunderbolt, just because of the fact that I don't know if this thing has leftovers, because I don't pay attention, and so trying to get that information I think will be really pivotal. And Thunderbolt does like a good amount of damage, right? We're gonna see the Rockfall come out again, probably into Rotom. Yep, Rotom hangs on, which is clutch. Depending on what my opponent goes for, will play a really big role, right? Because they could just pick up the knockout, as we do get a really pivotal flinch, because now they've gotten rid of the Sun, and we can go for a really safe Rock Slide. We can go for an Earthquake, honestly. Rock Slide's probably safer. No, because we are faster. So I'm going to go for an Earthquake as well as a Hydro Pump into the Regirock slot, just because of the fact that we will... Yeah, I think it made sense. We would have outsped anyway, so we would have been able to successfully get off big damage onto the Regirock, and I don't think that they would have been in a position really to recover from it. I think it really would have actually depended on what they went for with Torkoal that turn. But even if Torkoal had connected, right? Assuming we lost Rotom, they had so much damage already on their Regirock that we really could have just brought in Comfy and stalled out their last turn of max, and then gone for Giga Drains or like Draining Kiss onto it with an Earthquake to finish it off with Landorus, and then it would have been Charizard versus a Lando that's faster than it with access to Rock Slide. So I feel like even with that flinch, the outcome would have been the same. It would have just been a little bit longer. So really good job with this team. We unfortunately did not get to show off Milktank as much as I would have liked, but I do have a lot of fun with it. I highly recommend, if people haven't, to check out KantoClark's channel. He posts really innovative teams and is a really great battler and a really great person overall. And yeah, we're going to play some more with it. Can't wait until then. And yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.